Silt fences are a temporary sediment control method which can be used at the toe of slopes or where ponding can occur. Temporary silt fences must be installed at locations shown on the approved stormwater pollution prevention plan and in conformance with the details shown on Standard Plan T51. Install a temporary silt fence parallel with the slope contour. The reach of the silt fence must not exceed 500 feet. A reach is considered a continuous run of temporary silt fence from end to end or from an end to an opening, including joined panels. Each reach must be constructed so that the elevation at the base of the fence does not deviate from the contour more than 1/3 of the fence height. Installation of a silt fence includes 5 basic steps. First, dig a trench that is 6 inches wide and 6 inches deep. Then drive the post to a depth of 18 inches below ground surface, and then install the fabric on the side of the post facing the slope. To secure the silt fence fabric onto the post, a minimum of 4 staples per post must be installed. Anchor the fabric in the trench as indicated on Standard Plan T51. Finally, backfill the trench and mechanically or hand tamp the soil to secure the silt fence fabric into the bottom of the trench. When installing the silt fence, it is important that the downstream end of the last 8 feet of the fence is angled up the slope. Also, if the contractor chooses to install maintenance openings, these openings must be constructed in a manner to ensure that sediment is retained by the temporary silt fence. Water pollution prevention inspections need to be performed routinely to evaluate BMP effectiveness and implement repairs or design changes as soon as possible. Inspections are most effective when conducted jointly by the contractor's water pollution control manager and Caltrans inspectors at intervals described in the project special provisions. During the rainy season, inspections must be completed by the contractor weekly prior to and after storm events, at 24-hour intervals during extended storm events, or as required in the project's special provisions. During the inspection, the water pollution control manager should check for the following. Inspect the silt fence fabric for any type of damage, such as rips, tears, or decomposition. Immediately replace torn or decomposing fabric. Check to see how much sediment has accumulated. Remove sediment deposits when the sediment accumulation reaches 1/3 of the barrier height, and apply hydraulic mulch, straw mulch, or other BMP upstream to reduce sediment in runoff. Ensure that the silt fence is properly keyed in. If the bottom of the silt fence is not properly keyed in, reinstall this portion of the silt fence by trenching, placing the fabric in the trench, and backfilling the trench. Check the length of the slope draining to the silt fence. When the length of the slope draining to the silt fence is too long, shorten the slope length using fiber rolls or equivalent. The slope should be 200 feet or less. Determine if there is sufficient ponding area. When there is a lack of sufficient ponding area, make sure that the fence is installed with at least a 3-foot setback from the toe of the slope where possible, and divert flow at the top of the slope. Check the ends of the silt fence for erosion. If erosion occurs around the ends, turn the ends of the fence into the upslope area. Check to see if the silt fence was installed along level enough contours. When silt fences are not installed along level enough contours, reinstall them so that the change in elevation does not exceed 1/3 the height of the linear barrier along the reach, and install cross barriers. Determine if the silt fence was installed in a concentrated flow area. When concentration flows cause erosion behind the silt fence, replace the fence with the proper BMP, such as a check dam, when appropriate. The temporary silt fence must be maintained to provide a sediment holding capacity of approximately 1/3 the height of the silt fence fabric above ground. Remove accumulated sediment when it exceeds this height, or when directed by the resident engineer. Deposit the removed sediment at a designated area within the project limits so that the sediment is not subject to erosion by wind or water. Repair or replace a temporary silt fence the same day the damage occurs.